Before this story truly begins, pause for just a second, because if you've ever believed that one moment can change an entire life, you're in the right place. Stories like this remind us why kindness still matters in a world that often forgets it. If this story touches your heart at any point, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps more stories like this reach people who need them most. Now listen closely, because what you're about to hear begins with a simple dinner, and ends with something no one could have imagined. People knew Evelyn Hart as a billionaire, but tonight she was just a mother holding her son's small hand as they walked into one of the most expensive restaurants in the city. Crystal chandeliers glowed above marble floors, and the soft hum of wealth filled the air. Her son, Leo, was 10, bright-eyed, observant, and far more sensitive than most people realized. Evelyn had built an empire from nothing after her husband died years ago, and everything she did now was for Leo. She wanted him to grow up strong, but kind. Successful, but human. This dinner was meant to be a celebration. Leo had just won a national science competition, but Evelyn's mind was heavy, burdened by meetings, numbers, and a loneliness she rarely allowed herself to feel. As they were escorted to their table, Leo tugged gently at her sleeve. "Mom," he whispered, "look over there." Evelyn followed his gaze. At a small table near the back sat a man in a worn jacket and a little boy about Leo's age. The father was nervously scanning the menu, calculating every price in his head. The boy tried to look excited, but his hands were folded tightly in his lap, like he was afraid to touch anything. The contrast was painful, two children the same age, in the same room, living in completely different worlds. Evelyn turned back to her menu, but she couldn't focus. She told herself it wasn't her business. She'd helped charities, built schools, donated millions. Yet something about that table refused to leave her thoughts. When Leo noticed her silence, he asked quietly, "Mom, why does that boy look sad?" She hesitated. "Sometimes people carry worries they don't talk about," she replied. Leo nodded, then said something that cracked something open inside her. Maybe tonight is really important to him. The waiter arrived, and Evelyn ordered without looking at prices. Across the room, she watched the single dad order one simple dish and water for both of them. When the waiter left, the man leaned down, whispering something to his son, making him smile just enough to hide the fear. Evelyn felt a tightness in her chest she hadn't felt in years, not since she'd once been that struggling parent herself, choosing between rent and groceries after her husband's sudden death. Dinner was served. Leo ate quietly, still glancing toward the other table. Finally, he spoke again. "Mom, can I ask you something?" Evelyn smiled faintly. "Anything." Leo swallowed. "If we have more than enough, why do some people still have so little?" Evelyn didn't answer right away. For all her wealth, this was the hardest question she'd faced all day. When the bill arrived, Evelyn stood up. "I need to use the restroom," she told Leo. Instead, she walked straight to the manager. She spoke softly, firmly. The manager's eyes widened, then nodded repeatedly. What Evelyn asked for was unusual. Risky. Unbelievable. But she didn't hesitate. Moments later, as the single father reached for his wallet with trembling hands, the waiter returned, smiling. "Sir," he said kindly, "your bill has been taken care of." The man froze. "That's not possible," he replied. "I didn't ask for," the waiter gently interrupted. "And there's more. The lady over there would like a word with you." Confused and embarrassed, the man stood, taking his son's hand. Evelyn walked toward them, Leo beside her. Up close, the man looked exhausted, eyes hollow from sleepless nights, pride barely holding together. "I hope you don't mind," Evelyn said softly. "I noticed you and your son. I remember what it's like to want to give your child something special, even when the world makes it hard." The man's voice shook. "I'm sorry, I don't take charity." Evelyn nodded. "Neither do I. That's why this isn't charity. She knelt in front of the boy. What's your name? Noah, he whispered. You're very brave, she said. Then she stood and looked at the father. I run a company. We're opening a new facility. I need someone reliable. Someone who knows responsibility. I don't know your story, but I see your effort. She handed him a card. Come tomorrow. If you want to earn, not receive, the door is open. The restaurant was silent. The man stared at the card, then at his son, who was smiling for real now. Tears streamed down his face. My name is Daniel, he said. And this dinner, it was for his birthday. His mom passed away last year. I just wanted one normal night. Evelyn felt tears well up too. Then let tonight be more than normal, she replied. Leo stepped forward. Happy birthday, he said, offering his dessert plate. Noah laughed, and in that laugh, something healed in all of them. Weeks passed. Daniel showed up the next morning, and every morning after. He worked harder than anyone. Months later, he was promoted. A year later, he was managing the facility. Evelyn didn't just change his night, she changed his future. But what surprised her most was how much she herself changed. She started seeing people again. Not numbers. Not statistics. People. One evening, long after that dinner, Leo asked his mother, do you think we helped them, or did they help us? Evelyn smiled, realizing the truth. Both, she said. Always both. And that was the unbelievable part, not the money, not the job, not the dinner, but the reminder that true wealth is what you do when no one asks, and kindness is the only investment that never loses value.